know it's your boy Fat Rob, and I'm here to let you know you tuned in to the Ridin Durty radio show with Uncle Vic XL and your girl Boss Lady Bird. Now let's get it jumping. Yeah.
Yo, 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 yo. What up, good people?
I think you went
radio show in the building. It's your boy Big XL.
I think you went a little longer this time.
I didn't smoke. Go ahead and introduce yourself, girl.
I'm Boss Lady Bird.
Caca! Bird, I wish you could see me. Every time I do that, I stand on the one leg like in the Karate Kid.
I'm not a flamingo.
I don't know. It just makes me do the Karate Kid stance. I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's funny.
I didn't smoke, but I did smoke.
Okay.
So, and let me say this, since we was talking about smoking. I still smoke like the 80s. So I don't think I smoke what these people smoke.
Right. I feel you.
I think I smoke.
Evolved over, like, even since I was a teenager, it's a lot different.
Yeah. Yeah. People because my person is in my age demographic.
Right.
So, I'm sure what I'm on, they probably call it Reggie or Bobby. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing growing out of it. It ain't glowing in the dark. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's actually weird. I don't hear people anyway up here. They don't call it Reggie. Now, when I was young, you had your Reggie, you Mexican brickweed or whatever. And then you had what was a mid-grade, which was kind of between a high grade and a low grade. But now what we would refer to as Reggies back then, they call mid.
Really? So
I don't get it.
Man, back in my day, Reggie didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Reggie didn't even warrant you putting on no cologne when you got out the car.
Right, yeah.
They'd be like, "You been smoking cigars?" But my son, and what he'd be like, "Come on over, pops. I got that so and so and so." I'm like,
that Zaza. Got that Zaza.
I'm be like, "Come on, pops. Get on that Zah with your boy. Get on that Zah with your boy." I be like, "Boy, I'm gonna whoop your ass." That's what I'm gonna do. Leave me alone. I got that old man. Don't just call mine that old man. I got that old man. Yeah, me and my son can't shop at the same place. We cannot. Because what he's on, I think, is borderline something that can get you addicted. Yeah, I can't. Shout out my son.
I think it's the taste really that becomes addictive. Because the better the weed, the more I want to smoke because I love the taste of it.
Yeah, but I'm telling you that young folk stuff. Look, my son come over to the house, and my wife be like, "Listen, he needs to leave that in the car, and it's not even lit. It's just in his pocket." She be like, "He needs to leave it in the car because it's aggravating the dogs."
Right.
God bless you, young people, man. Y'all bless the young people who on that za, and I can't even think of no other word but that za. Them runts. What is them runts? What is runts?
Runts, za, them cookies.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, when y'all start naming it after food and candy, I no. Give me that Bobby Brown, that Reggie. I'll stay where I'm at.
Kush, shout out King Kush, yeah.
When that now Kush, okay, I kind of got up there, but I think that's when I stopped. When the names start going past the Kush, yeah. I'm like, I'm staying right here. I'm staying here. Y'all go ahead. Now I'm gonna stay with the Kush. Yeah, man, I don't know.
You're right though. A lot of it is named after food. You got ice cream, cookies.
What?
Yeah, you're right. Runts.
Man, when I started hearing runts, I literally didn't know what the hell they were talking about. I'm like, the candy, like the little thing that look like nerds? And like, now OG. Nah. Hey, man, look, man. I'm about to retire from smoking, and I'm finna probably just get on these edibles. I'm getting what I need from edibles. Ain't
You gotta
nothing
be
like,
careful with the edibles, though.
huh?
You gotta be careful with the edibles.
Why? What happened?
I I think when you smoke, you know how much you smoke. You know what you rolled up, but in the edible, you don't know. I mean, I know they have, it's so many milligrams or whatever, but we don't know what that is. We're used to smoking either by the grams or whatever. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right. So will edibles make me impotent? Because I need that.
I don't know. I think some people it might, and some people it makes it worse.
I'm trying to find whatever makes me impotent. So I don't have to get snipped. I don't want to get snipped.
You might want to. You might want to call the blow man and get you.
No, I can't do that. No. Hey, bird, I'm too goddamn old to get addicted to anything now. Hell no. You try? No, I want to be impotent, not in a tent.
Yeah, I was gonna say because usually that make them want to, but they can't. It's kind of contradictory.
Yeah, I just don't want to make no babies. I want to still be able to practice. You know, I am a newlywed. Hell no, bro. You gonna have me in a tent, not impotent.
Oh goodness.
I'll spring out. Yo, man, look at Uncle over there. One sock on. He got a black church sock on with his jogger pants up like LL Cool J with a cowboy. Hell no, bro. You gonna have me out there looking for that.
Cowboy hat and jogging breeches, yeah.
All right, bro. We are here to talk about what the hell everybody else is talking about, but we're gonna put a Bird Big XL. I'll touch on it.
Yeah.
Katt Williams has broken the internet.
He broke it.
Broken the internet. Last week, Katt Williams made an appearance on Shannon Sharpes Club Shay Shay podcast. Salute to Shannon Sharp because there are so many people who had no idea that Shannon Sharp didn't play football anymore and was podcasting. But Katt Williams, and salute, Shannon Sharpes has a really good podcast. But salute to Katt Williams. He 7 days ago to the moment of us recording this, Katt Williams did a 2-hour and 46-minute interview with Shannon Sharpe. And at this moment, it has done 41 million views in 7 days.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what Katt Williams did, he doubled back and appeared on Willie D's podcast. And for those who don't know, Willie D is one of the founding members of the Ghetto Boys. 7 days later, he appeared on Willie D's podcast, and that in 7 days, and 1 day has already done 3 million views. Have you had an opportunity to check out both of them, Bert?
I have. I even recapped on the Shannon Sharpe interview today. And it really surprised me too that he doubled back and did the other interview because I imagine his phone was blowing up with people wanting interviews, and I really didn't expect him to do another one, but he did. Actually,
I agree with you there. I didn't, because I'm like, I know Katt Williams has to get a new number now, turn his phone off. I'm sure everybody with a camera and a microphone is offering him platform time, and I'm sure there are people who are offering him money. I'm sure he didn't get no money from Shannon Sharpe because at the time it wasn't what it is now. But I can guarantee you, if Katt Williams wanted to go interview with Gayle King, it wouldn't be a problem.
Right? He said he would have talked to Larry King as well if he had the opportunity.
Larry King still alive?
I don't think. I don't know. I want to say no, but then I'm like, maybe he is. I don't know.
I'm Googling him while we talk. Let's see. Oh no, he out of there.
Okay, I thought so.
He died in 2020.
In the interview, he mentioned Larry King.
Yeah, he did. He said that he wasn't really interested in talking to people who didn't have that magnitude of a platform. The
Right.
first thing I gotta say is salute to him for going to Shannon Sharpes' platform. And the reason I'm gonna say that, number one, I am a fan of Shannon Sharp, and I think Shannon Sharp does an amazing job with every guest he has. But what I like even more about Shannon Sharp is like a country boy like me. He's from a very, very small town, went to a very, very small college, had an illustrious NFL career, but he was always I ain't gonna say he had a speech impediment, but he stuttered a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to work himself into a position that he can have these fluent interviews with celebrities, I salute him for his hard work after he left the game of the NFL.
You know, I heard DC Young Fly talk about his stutter, and for what helped him, he says if he says the word "so" before he speaks whatever he's thinking, he don't stutter.
Really?
Yeah.
Rest in peace to my Uncle Pat. He stuttered. And when he used to kick his leg, he didn't stutter. Don't laugh at that. Don't you laugh at that, bro. My uncle rolling over in his grave right now. He rolling over in his grave. My uncle be like, when he kicked that leg, so he kick it out. He used to whoop my ass because I picked on him. I would like, can you get me some Kool-Aid?
Oh my god!
He will beat my ass. You gotta love the old Southern black household. But yeah, rest in peace, my uncle. He was an awesome man, but he stuttered to the day he died. It didn't stop him from getting no women though. Didn't stop him. But back to Katt and Shannon Sharpe. So 7 days later, he goes on Willie D's platform and does Willie D. So what I like about Katt in these two interviews, the one thing I'm gonna say is he put them in two separate spaces. Even though you look at Willie D and you see an African American man, you look at Shannon Sharpe and you see an African American man. These two gentlemen are in separate spaces when it comes to the media world. So in order for him to get his message across to some of the people that are covering, like I seen Upchurch talk about it. I don't think if Katt Williams didn't go to Shannon Sharpe and just went to Willie D, he wouldn't have gotten the coverage that he's gotten. So I actually like the fact that he doubled down and went to a smaller YouTuber, but it's going to affect both of their careers in great magnitudes.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's get into some of the stuff he talked about.
All right.
The first thing I want to say is he talked about Ricky Smiley and his relationship with Ricky Smiley. And what I actually did really like about on Shannon Sharpe, half of that interview was rebuttal from things that previous guests on Shannon's show have said. So
and that made me, I think to me, I feel like that was probably played a big part in the reason he went to Shannon Sharpe.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Because I can't see him, going over there for any other reason. But a lot of people have taken jabs at him or made him feel a certain way about what he's been doing. So, So Katt responding to things people have said about him, I ain't mad at that because Katt has took a lot of jabs have been taken to Katt Williams because he's been so polarizing when it comes to his off stage antics. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Katt definitely has he mentioned it. I think he said he's been arrested 19 times, 17 times. I know that to be true because Katt is never in the news for anything good.
Right. He said that he had been arrested that many times with 0 convictions, I believe.
Yeah. I never hear about him being convicted, but I do hear about him being arrested.
Oh, absolutely. I remember the mugshots.
Yeah, Katt was arrested 60 minutes away from my house in Noonan, Georgia for squatting. Hey, come on, Katt Williams squatting.
For real, like the fuck.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Katt just has a very unique way of handling things. A la this interview that it's very unorthodox and it tends to maybe scare people or they get alarmed. So I'm kind of gonna credit it to that. So Ricky Smiley, that was the first person he kind of dove into, and Ricky Smiley had made the statement. I actually seen the interview on Friday after next. He said that he was supposed to play the pimp role and Katt Williams was supposed to play Santa. I ain't gonna front. When I heard Ricky Smiley say it, I'm like, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. But hearing Katt clarified, I'm like, man, Ricky tripping. Do you feel like Ricky Smiley was supposed to play the pimp?
No.
I can't even remember Ricky Smiley in no other movie other than that movie.
Well, that's probably because according to Katt Williams, he always plays the part of a woman.
Or little Daryl.
Yeah.
Aladar. Leave me alone. I'm trying to, I haven't hit my Wikipedia, or I haven't even Googled Ricky Smiley to even recall him playing a woman. But Katt Williams, I thought it was very interesting that he said that Ricky Smiley and Tyler Perry are only good for playing women. And we do know what Tyler Perry has done with that dress in Medea.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And don't forget, it's in the contract. He won't work with Ricky Smiley unless he in a dress.
I don't believe that.
You know? You think you were capping?
I think that was all Cat.
So do you think we'll see Ricky Smiley back on Shannon Sharpes podcast to clarify all these things?
Nope.
I don't think so either.
I don't think even though we as the world want to see all these people who he addressed double down and come back, I don't think anyone will come back. I don't think
so either, because they sit there and lie to that man, apparently. I mean, allegedly.
Now, some of the things that Katt says, I feel like are his strong opinions. And then some of the things I can see the truth in. Like, okay, I definitely didn't believe Ricky Smiley when he first said what he said about the pimp role and the Santa role. So I like I said it was Katt when Ricky said it. But there were some things that Katt said to Shannon that I'm like, don't put Shannon in that position. Like he was like, when he was saying like, why would you let these people come up here and lie? And I'm gonna be honest, I do interviews, and unless it's just some real ethical type things, man, say what you want to say, because it's not. I'm just giving you the platform. If you want to come up here and say I was supposed to be Santa, the pimp, I don't feel like Shannon was wrong for not questioning Ricky Smiley. He don't know enough about the movie to even question it. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what he kind of told Katt. He just took what they said for face value. He didn't know.
Now if Ricky Smiley said, I played in the NFL, now I expect Shannon Sharpes to say, hold up, what year, what team?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's an arena you're not an expert in, you're just there to get the message out and letting them convey what they got to say. It's not, even as an interviewer, it's not my place to referee y'all fight. It's my place to give you a platform to speak, and we'll let the people decide.
That's it.
Now, I liked Willie D's interview. Me personally, if I had that second crack at Katt Williams, I think I would have made him double down on some of the stuff he said. I almost felt like the Willie D interview was he said pretty much the same things, other than the Ali Shadiq situation. Everything else he covered was covered in Shannon Sharpes.
I felt that the Shannon Sharp interview was more relaxed. I felt more that there was more tension in the other interview for some reason.
I felt that too. But do you think that's because of, like me, you both said, Katt's phone been ringing for 7 days?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the tension could have came from?
I think the interview with Shannon Sharpe made Katt Williams more intimidating.
Intimidating or intimidated?
Intimidating.
Okay.
So I felt like Willie was probably tiptoeing on shit that he might have wanted to ask, but maybe he was kind of scared.
You know what I also think?
That's just the impression that I got. I don't know.
No, I actually feel that too. And in the podcast space, a lot of people might not know. Willie D might be new to a lot of people when it comes to the podcasting space. But last year, with that podcast that he does, Willie D Live, last year was called Ghetto Boys Live, and it was Willie D and Scarface. That might be one of the first episodes that he's done without Scarface, because Scarface left the podcast. So that could be an intimidation factor also. He's doing, because he does YouTube, but he does commentary, kind of like what we do. He talk about, things going on in the news. But this is the first solo interview I've seen. It might not be the first, but it's the first one that has come across my timeline. So maybe that's a little intimidating to your first solo interview, and you're interviewing the most polarizing person online right now, Katt Williams.
Absolutely.
Now, in that interview, it was a couple things I didn't get. At one point in time, he called Willie D Vlad. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I didn't understand.
Do you think he did it intentionally or jokingly? Or do you think he just misspoke?
So you want me to be honest, Bird? I don't know. The Willie D interview wasn't entertaining enough to me, and that's not a knock on Willie D. He just didn't cover anything new. So I was like, I'm not going back and try to get any interpolation of why he called him man Vlad, because the interview wasn't interesting enough to make me go back.
You're right. And I have to agree with you. The only parts that really stood out to me was the conversations about Ali.
Yes. And did you notice at the end of the interview, he said you will go down as asking the worst questions in interview history?
I kind of agree. It could have been because he come from this great interview with Shannon Sharpes, and it was to me, it was a wonderful interview. It was very relaxed. It was like they was just really two homeboys hanging out. And with the Willie D interview, it just it lacked a lot. I have to agree.
And you know what's sad? Willie D is very, very controversial. If you watch any of his content, he's actually in that space with Katt when it comes to controversial topics. So to me, Willie D gave a Big XL interview. He gave one of them. Hey,
if I'm gonna be honest, I think you could have done better.
Oh, let me tell you, Bert. Had I seen that Shannon Sharpe, I got questions from the Shannon Sharpe interview that I would love to ask Katt Williams. So to me, I felt like Willie D could have had I would have built it as part 2, or the saga continued.
Right, but honestly, I don't feel like Willie D had he didn't have a good energy. I don't know. Like, I swear, I don't even think I seen the man smile. Maybe he did. I listened more than I watched, but he just always, whenever I did look, he just had this real stern, almost angry face about him. And I just, you feed off energy of the people I would think that you're interviewing. And Katt Williams is such a happy, funny kind of guy. Like, I don't understand what Willie D was mad about. Or appeared mad about. Like I said, that's just his demeanor to me.
Yeah, I was a tad bit confused about it, because I have a lot of respect for Willie D as a journalist and being in the space. I just was like, man, come on, Willie. Like, okay, for instance, Katt talked about being accepted into college at 12. No one is asking what colleges.
Yeah, it's like you were accepted into college at 12, but you were homeless in Miami
at 13.
Trying to get into the military at 13, 14. Like, I don't know. I would like to see the receipts on that myself. I have to agree with you.
He talked about running like a 4-something 40. I was like, oh man, if you don't stop playing. But I don't have to ask that question anymore, because 2 days after Shannon Sharpes' interview, there's a video floating around, supposedly a Katt the same week, running like a 4.2. so I ain't got to ask that question now. But guess what? Had I been interviewing him, I was like, come on, Katt, we finna go outside right now. I got
Maybe they should have cast him in the first Friday as Ezel since he got it run on.
Yeah, because I'm talking about you hear his feet. Pop, 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 pop. I'm like, yeah. Reminded me of me, Bird. Reminded me of me. That's a little known fact about Vic XL. You say you learn things about me every time we talk. Vic XL likes to get drunk and challenge young people to foot races.
So you can run though, for real?
I am undefeated. I am undefeated.
Have you run sober races as well, though?
I mean, I don't challenge anybody sober.
Okay.
I mean,
or is this a sprint or a marathon?
About 40 yards. About a 40-yard dash.
Okay.
And I don't race anyone over 30.
Well, damn, huh?
And all right, can I get a little disclaimer?
Yeah.
And I don't race anybody black.
Say white men can't jump or run, huh?
Not after 30. Hey man, I'll challenge any of these people in our space that are not an athlete. If you're 30 plus, yeah, give me some Chattahoochee, Chattanooga whiskey, and we can get it in. Yeah, that's
okay. And Gene is 47. You think you could outrun Dumb Genius?
Gene is black, right?
Oh, that's right. He's just.
Yeah, I'm not even finna play with Gene.
My bad. You know that's funny too because you posted that thing on IG this morning about Jelly Roll, and he give him 2 out of 5 top white rappers. And which one of them I highly disagree with. And I'm in the comments naming 4 or 5 rappers from Nashville that I think so much better. And then I realized, wait, they all black, Bird. So I had to go delete my comment.
Hey man. But let me say this. For people watching this pod, right? I will outrun Captain Kirk. I will outrun I ain't even gonna name nobody else. Captain Kirk's the only person I'm gonna name. And anybody in our
You're like, no, let me stop.
No, I don't want to stop. I just don't want to give them no content.
I get it. Absolutely.
Captain Kirk can rebut. Anybody else can rebut, but they didn't. I'm not. Anybody who feels like they can outrun me, who creates content that don't look like me, we can get it in on the track. We can do it for money or charity. Like, for real. And I'm 50.
That's your boy.
I'm 50. Like, I ain't playing. I'm 50. And this is something my family's coming out. They're like, yeah. Because people think because of my age, I can't. But yeah, I'm now when watching Katt, Katt will blow my doors off. But Katt looks like me, so he don't count. But no, and Gene is what, like 6 feet tall?
He's pretty tall, yeah. I think he's 5'11" actually.
Now Gene legs are too long. I can't do nothing with him. I can't do nothing with him. Remember, I'm only 5'5" and a half. Get my half.
That's funny.
But now, if you don't look like me, I don't care if you're 6 feet tall. I'm still gonna get you. I'm running for reparations. Okay, back to Katt. Katt speaks on something that we tend to talk about on all forms of hip hop. We talk about industry plants, and Katt really kind of says that Kevin Hart is an industry plant.
Mm-hmm.
And that Kevin Hart really didn't have the resume to get the opportunities that he's gotten. First of all, and Katt basically says most of these guys aren't funny. Do you feel like Kevin Hart is funnier than Katt?
Absolutely not. I'm not a Kevin Hart fan. And honestly, before this interview, I really wasn't much of a Katt Williams fan, but I do have a newfound respect for Katt Williams. Absolutely, I do.
Now, there are some things, like you mentioned Kevin Hart being an industry plant. You know, when people use the term industry plant, that's something we can never prove because it's not like the industry is going to say, yeah, we put this person in position. But when you look at some of the...
He said that's a lot of their jobs is not to hide, not to let people know what's going on for real.
And when when Katt says it, right, and you kind of sit back and think, Kevin Hart did kind of come from nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people might in the hip hop space might not know Kevin Hart was in like I think it was called Paper Soldiers with Beanie Siegel. But Kevin Hart got a major starring role on Soul Plane, and I don't even know if that man had 5 films under his belt when he got Soul Plane, and he gets a starring role. So, I don't want to say Kevin Hart's industry plant, but I do kind of look at Katt and be like, I don't know, man. I don't know how much dues Kevin plays. He mentions Ludacris. I wasn't happy when he mentioned Ludacris. I
don't know if that part played each time I got up to pee, but I've watched that interview twice, and I still never heard what it was exactly he said about Ludacris. So will you go on and enlighten me with that?
He said that basically him and Luda went to an Illuminati party together, and my invitation keeps getting lost in the mail. I'm trying to go if we can come up, Bird. I'll take it. Okay. So Illuminati, come get me, and I'm gonna get my girl Bird, but y'all ain't gotta get Bird in there. She just come with me. Okay. But he said him and Luda went to an Illuminati party, and they were offered a deal. He didn't take it. He said like 20 films, $20 million, something like that. And he said Luda did. And we see what Luda's movie career has done off the Fast and Furious alone. Really, Luda's
I was
movie
going to
career.
say, really, only thing I can think of him being in is Fast and Furious. What else was he really in? I never was a big Ludacris fan either.
He's done some films. But majority of his money and film staying power has definitely came from
Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Ludacris was as old as he is either. Like, I didn't realize he's 46 years old.
Damn, I would have thought early 40s at best. I thought he was really, maybe just a few years older than myself.
Okay, so I just pulled up his filmography. His first film was The Wash in 2001, and then he appeared in Fast and Furious in 2003. 2 years to make that big of a jump. Ooh. And then he was in a movie called Crash, which is a great movie. If you get a chance, check it out if you haven't. He was in a video called Lil Pimp. I remember that. He was in Hustle and Flow, The American Hustle, Fred Claus, Ball Don't Lie. I don't know about that one. Rock-a-Roller, I remember that. Max Payne, Gamer, No Strings Attached, Fab 5, Breakaway, New Year's Eve, Fab 6, Fab 7, Turkey Hollow, The Fate of the Furious, The Ride, Show Dogs, John Henry, F9, End of the Road, Fast X, and he just was in a holiday movie that went straight to Disney Plus called Dashing Through the Snow. So Luda has had a pretty big movie career. Not starring roles, but nothing is up there.
I was gonna say a lot of them is B or C list movies, honestly. Like the Fast and the Furious and the Hustle and Flow is the only ones to me that really I'm like, oh yeah, they were big movies, but besides that,
And he didn't even have a big role in Hustle and Flow.
No, not really. No, he got his ass whipped.
Yeah, he got beat up in the bathroom peeing. Also, he mentioned some things about Steve Harvey, and this is funny. I never put this together. He talked about Steve Harvey and Mark Curry.
Yeah, I never had thought about it like that either, but he was actually kind of spot on with that.
Yes, because if you think back of the TV show Hanging with Mr. Cooper, that movie was so much like that television show was so much like the Steve Harvey show, all the way down to the way they dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Now a lot of
that one was bald and the one allegedly had a hairpiece.
Yeah, allegedly, because he's good and bald now.
Yeah.
Now, when he talks about joke stealing, I really don't get into that aspect of it. I don't even give judgment on it because I've heard so much about comedians stealing each other's jokes throughout this game, of all ethnic backgrounds. Like joke stealing is seems to be kind of popular Kind of like rap. You know how people say, man, he stole my song. You know, a big artist hears a little artist song and go does his version of it. I can see a big comedian pulling up at a local comedy club, hearing this local guy's joke and taking it on tour. I'm not saying it's right, but I bet you that's been going on since the history of comedy.
Oh, absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
he also and I wasn't mad at this. He claims to pretty much be the funniest. And I expect that. That's like any rapper thinking they're the dopest. So I didn't view him proclaiming himself to be the funniest as controversial. But I did think it was really dope that he wasn't lying about all his comedy specials. And I don't know anyone in the African American comedy space that has as many as he has. He's not lying about that. He's got about 7 on Netflix, and so Netflix is cutting him a check every year. Now, I thought he was capping when he was talking about like he's one of the richest men. I was like, man, stop. I don't see that. Him being one of the richest men in Hollywood. Come on, you ain't got a hint. I don't think he got that Will Smith bread.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. And
If
the fact that
so, he's not a flexer, obviously.
and you know what? The fact that he doesn't flex means he could be in that space. Maybe me hearing him talk about money made me not believe him because I'm not used to hearing him talk about money.
Right.
It's like a lot of things that he talked about. I was glad to hear him talk about like how he talks about taking other artists on tour and putting younger comedians on. I know because I'm a big comedy connoisseur, and me and the wife, we go check out a lot of live shows. A lot of these comedians don't be bringing young talent with them. They'll share the bill with like the Kings of Comedy. Those were 4 headliners, basically. And there was no opening act. Me and the wife went to that 3 straight years when, before, rest in peace, Bernie Mac, before Bernie Mac died. That was something that we done annually because it came to Atlanta every year. And that was just 4 headliners. They never had an opening act. I've seen Kevin Hart in Atlanta, no opening act. Or his opening act is I don't know. Have you ever heard of the Brown Cup Boys or the Red Cup Boys?
No, I don't think I have.
All right, if you Google the Red Cup Boys, they're like a group of comedians, but they're actually Kevin Hart's writers. The Red Cup Boys.
The thing that stuck out to me the most that Katt Williams said that I really love was a quote he said, "To be confident and not delusional is a real skill." And I felt that.
I do too. If for no other reason, Bird, because of the space that we're in on YouTube, there are a lot of delusional people on YouTube.
Oh, absolutely.
And when he said it, that was the first thing that hit my mind. The people that are disillusioned, or what's the damn? I can't get the
delusional.
word. Delusional. The people that are delusional who occupy this space and allow this to change their lives without any income.
Absolutely. And maybe I think that's where I felt that so much because I'm like, man, he ain't lie. He ain't lie a bit. I know some real delusional motherfuckers on this bitch. For real.
Yeah, because there are people in this space, and I'm sure there are people over there who eat, sleep, shit, clout.
You ain't lied since I met you.
Like, they don't care about no check. They don't care about trying to make money to change their lives. They care about being popular and of course, in order to get to the money, there's a certain level of, I think you got to get popular before you really get the money. You have to get popular.
Oh, absolutely.
But you can tell the people who are not interested in the financial gain. And I think anytime you take so much time away from your family and your everyday life, you should somehow want to make money out of it.
Absolutely. Who would you say is probably, well, you said you seen the Kings of Comedy. Is that probably the most famous comedians you ever went and seen?
That I've seen or no?
Seen.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Unless you count Kevin Hart, but to me, seeing those four at one time trumps one Kevin Hart. So,
All right. I've seen Pauly Shore, I've seen Harlan Williams and Tommy what's his name from Living Color?
Davidson.
Tommy Davidson. I've seen him as well. I guess those are probably the most popular, which were all kind of lackluster to me, being the niece of Gallagher. Like, you have to really be funny to make me laugh. Because he was one of the greats in my eyes.
Now, one of my personal homeboys is one of the funniest comedians live that you'll ever see. But for some reason, he just didn't break into Hollywood the way I felt like he should have. But I think it was because of his weight. And that's Bruce.
Bruce, he was just in Nashville. Shout out Bruce. How did you feel when T.I. tried to break into comedy?
So my first instinct was I didn't like it. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it now. I accept it now because we have a relationship and you should support your people.
Right.
I don't think he's organically funny. I think you should be funny without being doing comedy to be funny. To me, I've never really been around him and be like, man, too funny here.
I feel like he's too, like, he has to respond too much. Like, he's too easily maybe irritated by shit, because when he first tried to get into comedy, there was a lot of controversy. Because you're going to get heckled by the crowd and shit. And that just, to me, he didn't seem the type to be able to, respond back with a joke and move along. Like, he really dwelled on what that person had said, which, like we've seen, caused him a lot of controversy. So,
the one thing I'm gonna say, because I know your time is ticking. The one thing I'm gonna say about him, he has surrounded himself with a group of amazing writers that has the potential to get him where he needs to be. It's just, to me, going from the world's greatest trapper to being funny just would never.
exactly. And on the other side of that, I have to say, because you know how I feel about departments, and him, that being a production of his. And I think the fact, honestly, and I know everybody's, she's biased because she's a super big 85 South show fan, but I feel like with him getting in real good with Carlos and DC and surrounding himself with those types of people really kind of helped in the production of that film, and also made it as funny as what it was. So that's the other side of it. I don't think he's good at stand up, but I think maybe, like how he produced the film, that was probably a better lane for him than trying to do live comedy, I guess is what I'm saying.
I agree. Now, I'm going to be honest, and I made this suggestion to them, right? I think he should, when you go to a T.I. show, I think he should rap and do comedy. I wouldn't have an issue going to see a T.I. show. He took the stage for an hour and he gave me 15 minutes of jokes and rap for 45. Or if he cracked a joke in between songs.
I was going to say, I could see maybe 3 5-minute segments in between the music, but a whole 15 minutes, no, I don't think I want to see that. Me personally.
No. I don't want him to tell jokes 15 minutes, then start rapping. But if he, how in between songs you have that little,
yeah.
If he done that, I would like it. I'm gonna be honest. I've had opportunities to go see his stand up, and I've declined every time. I can't say I ever will go, because when I see him, like Jess was with him a month ago, he's still that same guy who I never thought was funny. He's always serious.
He seems like a serious type to me. He's about big business, and I think absolutely he's too serious of a guy to to break into the stand-up comedy world.
Last thing I'm gonna add, because I know I got to get you out of here. Katt Williams now, because he's on tour, I think, and he mentioned that he don't do self-promotion, but I think this was the greatest form of self-promotion he could have ever done for his
Absolutely.
2024 tour.
I don't think he'll have to promote a damn thing after this to sell out every spot he got on the tour.
Yeah. And I also feel like he's on tour now, or he has Kevin Hart's wife on tour. And
I seen Ron White too once. I forgot about that. Ron White, that was probably the biggest besides Pauly Shore I'd ever seen.
Oh, Ron's funny.
Yeah, he was funny. He was real funny.
Him having a lot of people feel like him having Tori Hart, which is Kevin Hart's ex-wife, on tour is some savage, vindictive mood. I just want to set the record straight. She's been on tour with him before. So this is not a situation to where he's trying to get on the Kevin skin, because she's been on tour with him before. And I know you really like this. He said some amazing things about DC Young Fly and the young comedians coming up. I thought that was very admirable, because a lot of times older people in the entertainment space won't get the hell out the way or give the youngers any form of recognition. So I did respect that portion of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I had heard him say, when he talked about you'll never catch him in a dress on screen. I had heard Godfrey say the same thing on 85 South Show podcast, and I thought, well, I can respect that. Like I do, I love me a good Medea movie, but in general, I like manly men. I ain't about no bitch.
Yeah, and for years, a lot of African American men in that comedic space have to put that dress on. It goes all the way back to Flip Wilson. I don't know if you're familiar with Flip Wilson, but Flip Wilson.
I know who Flip Wilson is.
He played a character named Geraldine. Tyler Perry and Medea, Martin Lawrence and Big Mama's House, and it's proven that these gentlemen, well, not Tyler Perry, but it's proven that these gentlemen can be funny without the dress. And in the African American community, sometimes we feel like that's something that Hollywood does to us. I mean, people can feel how they feel, but I can name a lot of African American comedians who had to put that dress on. And whatever the reason may be, they did it. And Katt speaks adamantly against that. I'm adamantly against that, but I'm not mad at anyone who does it. So, it is what it is. All in all, though, in closing, I'm glad to see Katt take the stance he took. Hopefully there are a lot of more.
Absolutely, because I feel like for years we thought this man was a crackhead and a drunk and a lackluster comedian. But now I absolutely do not feel that way about Katt Williams. So for what it's worth, he changed my opinion of him.
No doubt. Bird, where can they find you at?
You can find me on IG at Bird420. You can now find me on TikTok at BossLadyBird85. Send me all your good music artists at birdbuzz85@gmail.com. And also you can catch me right here on YouTube at Boss Lady Bird.
And you guys can find me on the gram, Ridin Durty Radio, Twitter, Ridin Durty Radio, TikTok, Ridin Durty Radio, Bigo, Ridin Durty Radio, RIDINDURTY RADIO. Everywhere you go, send me that music. Y'all make sure y'all check out the
Bars.
Hey man, I'm trying to get up there with Gene. Real quick, I gotta shout out my people, man. I gotta shout out my cousin Hellbilly, and I gotta shout out my new cousin Fat Rob.
Fat Rob, salute, Fat Rob. I told you I would get you on the shout out on this episode. Shout out to Fat Rob, one of the biggest out of my group of people. When I watch and tune into our Ridin Durty radio show on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will bet my life Fat Rob gonna be there. He never disappoints. Hellbilly gonna be there. Gene's usually at work, so I know he's always listening, not necessarily in the chat. But first and foremost, Fat Rob gonna be there to support his, and shout out to him for that. We love you, Fat Rob.
So when I give you a name, then that's when you've earned my love. Like your name is BLB,
right? And your name is Unc,
right? So and Hellbelly is Cuzzo.
That's it.
So Fat Rob, new name now is Fat Rob. Like whoa.
Like whoa.
You remember that song?
Yeah.
Like whoa. So now from now on, when I address you, Fat Rob, is gonna be like Fat Rob. Like whoa.
Like whoa. Yeah.
Bird, it's always an honor and pleasure to hang out with you.
Yes, sir. Till next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, remember, time is the one thing you can't get back. And if you choose to hang out, if you chose to hang out with me and Boss Lady Bird, BLB, the queen of all things, the queen of controversy.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Public enemy number 1 as well.
They shooting at you, Bird. They shooting.
But they miss every time.
Every time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, man, y'all have a delightful rest of your day. Ridin Durty Radio Show to infinity. Peace.
We out.
Vic, your crazy cousin Hillbilly coming to you. Getting ready to grab me 2 beers and come watch the best show on the YouTube. That'd be Ridin Durty Radio with Big Vic and Boss Lady Bird. Much respect, y'all. Keep killing it in 2024.